Hello, my name is Darcy Thompson. I am a retired educator and a professional credentialed mediator with Thompson Mediations, LLC, and a collaborator with Tech for Justice. I spent almost 30 years working in public schools. Nationwide, we have a serious issue with children being bullied. The consequences of bullying are serious and long-term. Therefore, it's important that we create a safe space or peace zone for children in our communities. What is bullying? In the Google dictionary, the first listed definition says, bullying means to use superior strength or influence to intimidate someone, typically to force him or her to do what one wants. Some synonyms: persecute, oppress, browbeat, harass, torment, intimidate. Another really great resource is stopbullying.gov, and they define bullying as unwanted aggressive behavior among school-age children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance, and the behavior is repeated or likely to have the potential to be repeated. There are 4 broad types of bullying. They are physical, verbal, relational, which is like trying to harm someone's reputation or affect the peer relationships, and damage to property. Another type of bullying that has gotten a lot of attention is cyberbullying, and it's electronic bullying or cyberbullying, and it involves primarily verbal aggression. It's like using social media to threaten or harass someone, and relational aggression, which is like spreading rumors online. Do you recognize bullying behaviors? All these types of behaviors could be bullying. There's a difference between friendly teasing back and forth between friends and teasing that is bullying behavior that is not mutual, and that's one of the keys. Also, bullying has the intention of hurting someone's feelings and occurs repeatedly from someone who appears or is seen as older, stronger, or has more power than the target. Some bullying crosses over into illegal actions, and it should be reported to the authorities, and prompt action should be taken to protect the safety of the victim from further harm. When a victim talks about hurting himself, take them seriously and seek immediate and professional help. You may not believe that they are serious, but if you don't have the expertise to evaluate that situation, contact a mental health professional. So recently, Burger King created a public service announcement to focus on the issue of people's reluctance to speak up when they witness children being bullied. Keep in mind that the children in the PSA are actors, but the customers are real people. When they saw that their Whopper Jr. had been bullied, 95% of the customers spoke up and said something. They went back to the counter and they complained. However, only 12% of the customers said or did something when they saw a junior high school student being bullied, and that's sad. It's not that people don't see bullying, it's just that they don't say anything. We have to change that. On February 14, 2018, Valentine's Day, 14 children and 3 teachers were killed in a horrific mass school shooting at a Florida high school by a former student who was only 19 years old himself. In Texas, the latest anti-bullying legislation is named David's Law, in memory of the youngster who took his own life because he was bullied. When there's a school shooting, when students commit suicide, many people ask whether bullying was involved. It's time to stop bullying before it's too late and more tragedy occurs. Although recent school shooting investigations are ongoing, bullying has been reported as a primary or contributing cause of several previous school shootings. In the 1990s, there were 12 out of 15 of the school shootings that were studied involved bullying. Mental health issues were cited in the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary massacre that took the lives of children as young as 5 years old. In other cases, children are bringing weapons on campus, maybe to protect themselves. However, the nation is starting to pay attention, and in recent weeks in Texas, at least 2 students have been arrested on charges of making a terrorist threat by saying that they were going to commit a school shooting, like on their social media, their Snapchat, or their Instagram, and other children are speaking up when they're posting those threats, and schools and law enforcement are taking it seriously and responding quickly to avert more possible dangers. The effects of bullying. Kids who are bullying can experience negative physical, school, and mental health issues. Let's look at this more closely. Kids who are bullied, the targets are more likely to experience depression or anxiety, loneliness. You might notice that they sleep more or they sleep less than they would sleeping previously. There might be a change in their eating patterns, loss of interest in activities they used to participate in and enjoy. They might have been on a team or in a club, and now they are avoiding those. You might hear more health complaints, stomach aches, attempts to avoid those situations where they may encounter the bully. You may see a drop in their grades, and a very small number of bullied children might retaliate through extremely violent measures. And we talked just previously about some of them who actually have committed school shootings, mass homicides in school buildings. According to news source MSNBC, there have been 18 school shootings from January 1st to February 14th, 2018, and 273 school shootings since the 2012 Sandy Hook tragedy in Connecticut that took the lives of 20 children and 6 staff members. There is some question. Some sources, including like the Washington Post, contest that the actual number of 18 is the correct number of school shootings because of how different people define it. However, what is not in question is that there have been multiple school shootings with both fatalities and or injuries involving children. Let's look at the long-term effects of bullying. Kids who bully others can also engage in violent and other risky behaviors into adulthood. The impact of bullying doesn't end with teenagers. Kids who are bullies, who are targets of bullies, long-term effects may lead to substance abuse, illegal activity, and future physical or emotional abusive relationships. Now, this is for kids who witness bullies. Long-term effects on them also include substance abuse, having increased mental health problems, including depression and anxiety, and missing or skipping school, trying to avoid that situation where bullying is occurring. What can we do? What's the law in your state? Most states have passed legislation that mandates that schools address suicide and bullying prevention. Get familiar with your state's legislation and find out what are the children's rights. What's the school's policy on addressing bullying? Does the school have a social emotional learning, an SEL, or character education program? Get involved. Talk to school officials, parents, and authorities. How do we spot bullying? How do you know if it's occurring? Listen to children. Are they having a lot of bad days? Do they seem to have friends, or are they isolated and think that nobody likes them? Do they participate in school activities? Do they participate in activities at home and in the community? Or do they make constant excuses to avoid peers at school? Do your children participate in family life? Are they quiet and shy versus sad and lonely and isolated at home and at school? Some children are not going to talk unless you open the conversation. If you don't ask, they're not going to say anything. Let them know that you care how they feel as well as how they're doing at school. Ask about their day. What did they do today? Who did they sit with at lunch? Did a teacher, did a friend say something nice to them today? Or did someone say something mean to them? Be aware of children who spend all their time alone on their social media and may be unhappy. Cyberbullying can be going on right down the hallway and you not be aware without really talking to the children and getting them to open up. All children should know that bullying is not okay. There are others who are being bullied, so they are not alone. They don't have to suffer. They need to tell somebody. And so how to stop bullying? Speak up. Silence is not the answer. Silence allows the bullying to continue and hurts both the target of the bullying and the bully. Call out bullying and cyberbullying. Talk to children about what to do when they encounter bullying, how to avoid it, how to speak up for themselves, how to talk to someone, report it to school officials, parents, other safe adults, and here are some tools online. So there are many, many tools online and lots of resources. I've picked a few to kind of talk about. OtterKids.com was developed by a teacher and a technology expert in California. OtterKids has a daily check-in that allows children to share how they are feeling on a daily basis so that you can monitor how children are doing before it gets to a crisis. There's also a message center with OtterKids.com, and that message center can be used to safely and anonymously report bullying. Another tool that's very helpful, that's gotten a lot of attention lately, is the Sit With Us app that was created by a teenager, 16 years old, after she experienced bullying. The app encourages youngsters to invite peers to sit with them to eat lunch so they won't have to sit by themselves and feel isolated and alone. There are also several resources online. I've already talked about stopbullying.gov, which is an excellent resource that has a ton of information that is helpful both in identifying and making recommendations of how to address bullying. There's also several other options here, as well as if you Google it online, you'll find different options. So what are we asking you to do so that there's no bullying allowed? Build a village to create a peace zone. Keep the communication channels open. Listen and talk to children about bullying and cyberbullying. Model appropriate, non-bullying, problem-solving behaviors. Conflict is normal. How do you talk to others who disagree with you, look different from you, or make different choices? What do you do when someone is mean to you? Walk away, tell a parent or school staff member, ignore it if it's a single incident and it's not being repeated. Teach children to report bullying. Tell them, role play with them, who to tell, when to tell as soon as possible, what to tell, how to tell. Does the school have a policy or a specific way in reporting bullying? Is there an anonymous way to report bullying at your school? Utilize the available tools to teach appropriate and positive peer interactions. And get help for children who are being bullied, who witness bullying, who engage in bullying behavior. Commit to a peace zone. Stay informed and committed to creating a peace zone in your school, home, and community. And stay tuned for future zone topics. Thank you for caring about the safety and well-being of your children and watching this video.